me how big he thinks my ass is after she told him that. I can't help it, I start to cry again. I feel like I'm on the verge of stripping off naked and running into the woods. Nobody seems to understand what it's like, taking care of an 88-year-old mother who can be about the most difficult person in the entire universe. Reminds me of that old song about how the battle axe wife died, went to hell, but she was so mean, the devils brought her back. I'm just saying she could populate an entire insane asylum by herself. She'll push you till you do something totally irrational, like the time I lost my temper with her and slammed my fist down on the 1940s porcelain cast iron sink and broke 3 bones in my hand. I'm not very stable anyway, as you know. A few months ago, I made a sharp exit from the world, took myself hostage, held off the Louisville police for over 2 hours with a Colt Peacemaker revolver. They eventually came through the upstairs window, grabbed me from behind and wrestled me to the floor, but the situation turned into one of those cop shows with a theme like bad boys, what you gonna do when they come for you? When the perpetrator suddenly becomes like an alien from outer space, who has developed incredible strength and kicks every cop's ass in the room. Only this turned into bad girls, when I morphed into a character like Storm in X-Men and bit one of the cops and spat on another and kicked a third one square in the forehead. They finally got me zip-tied and carted me off with nothing but a bra and a pair of panties and threw me into an isolation cell, but not before some mysterious bruises and lacerations appeared all up and down my spine and on the backs of my legs. All I want is for our mother to tell me she loves me and that she appreciates everything I've done for her in the past 3 weeks. That I put my life on hold to come down here and take care of her, I say to James between snippets. You're looking at a mother who never existed, James says. Mother has never had a maternal bone in her body. She's never going to say thank you. She's never going to tell you that she loves you. So just get over it. Remember? Do you remember her saying that she would slap us so hard that we'd have a wart as big as a wash tub? She also said she'd slap us so hard we had to unzip our pants to sing hymns on Sunday morning. My mother. But I've helped get her car fixed, and I've taken her to the earwax surgeon and had it surgically removed and got her fitted for hearing aids. And I've taken her back and forth to Kingsport 5 times because she wasn't satisfied with her hearing aids. And I've cleaned up all the scatter rugs and mopped and waxed the floors. Everything you've done is good, he says. But if you did all this because you thought you were going to be hugged or kissed or thanked, you did it for the wrong reasons. Just know inside that you did what you were supposed to do to take care of our mother. A mother who's in her early stages of dementia. I start to cry even harder. You just don't know, I said. You have no idea. She nearly killed me once when I was here. The other day she wanted to get ice cream from the Tasty Freeze, so she insisted on driving us down there. She poked along that big Mercury Marquis, going about 3 miles an hour and drifting back and forth on the right side of the road and the wrong side of the road with her signal light on all the way to Cumberland. And when we got there, she didn't want to go inside. And she didn't want to eat the soft serve in the car. She wanted to drive 5 miles back home while I'm assigned to hold the cones and have them melt and run down my arms. She's over there in the driver's seat, screwing around with the gear shift, ramming it back and forth so hard I thought she was going to snap it off even with the collar. She says, I knew that man didn't really fix his car. He charged me $500 to fix his car, and he didn't do anything. I can't even get this car in gear now. I could get the car in gear before he fixed it, she says. Meanwhile, I'm having to pad my elbows with napkins to keep the sticky soft serve off my clothes and away from the Marquis coffin-like velvet seats. When I look over, and the damn car is not even started. She hasn't even turned on the key. So I say, you have to start the car before it will go into gear. She looks at me like I'm the devil incarnate and tells me she reckons she knows when a car is running and when it's not running. So then she starts the car and slams it into gear with the accelerator depressed, and it suddenly lurches backward like we've been hitting a demolition derby and right into a damn telephone pole. But no, she doesn't pay any attention to that. She pulls out, screaming the tires onto the main road. She doesn't even look. I look over and I see the largest ram hood ornament I have ever seen in my life. A dually driven by the biggest Hank Williams Jr. looking redneck I've ever seen is bowed up in the middle of the highway. There's a red light coming up, and I I begin to scream, red light, red light, red light, stop. But she just keeps on going, right on through the red light. By this time, I'm completely hoarse from screaming. I don't know what you expect me to do. We're working full blast right now. You could call Susie and see if she could come help, James says. Maybe her overeducated butt will have a solution to all this. Right now, I'm so tired from work, we're having worked a 16-hour shift, I'm going to have to go to bed. I got another shift to pull in 8 hours. Susie is the oldest sister, a real PhD drama queen, married to a corporate attorney, rich beyond belief. She's taken not answering the phone when Mother calls. Just for meanness, Mother called up there last week and told her that she had cut her artery with a butcher knife and was bleeding to death. Not only did she not pick up the phone, but she didn't answer Mother for another 2 weeks. After James hangs up, I sit staring into what seems like a deep hollow filled with soupy fog. Monkeys are running wildly around in my head. I hear them bumping and banging, clomping. They screech and fuss at each other, perpetual disagreement. Susie's standing there watching them bounce around in my head. Careful not to walk alone at night, she says. You don't want to be thrown to the ground and kissed by a monkey, do you? There's nothing worse, she says, than monkey spit. More than anything, I do not want to end up like her, sifted down into a pile of meanness, a body racked with pain, 2 hips replaced, an ankle that looked like 2 mop heads repaired to the best surgeon in Kentucky, but still caused her to limp, stents, eye surgery for cataracts that went terribly wrong, and put a permanent halo around the room. Arthritis in every joint in the back like an S-curve on an eastern Kentucky mountain road. Ankles collapsed so she hopples on the sides of her feet. Knees so creaky you can hear them both making dissonant sounds as she gingerly pushes her way to a wobbling stance, rotating in circles, first clockwise and counterclockwise. When she stands, everyone in the room is on the precipice of their seats like they're watching a wreck at a dirt track. Simon and Garfunkel crawls into my head like I'm still in the 60s smoking dope. The monkeys and I are lined up, seated in rows of folding chairs, listening to them sing. Slip sliding away, slip sliding away. You know, the nearer your destination, the more you're slip sliding away. Whoa, only God knows. God makes his plan, the information available to the mortal man. We're working our jobs, collect our pay, believe we're gliding down the highway, when in fact, we're slipping away. I look out the window of the kitchen. The mop head is still leaning against the driver's side window of the Mercury Marquis. It's staring off in the distance toward the darkening of swept bridges.